I'm continuing my journey where I'm installing every Home Assistant add-on. I'll try my best to explain what these add-ons are doing, and I'll check the usage, the CPU and memory and storage usage after every installation, all of that on a single Raspberry Pi 5 device. These videos are taking very long time to shoot, to edit and to upload, so if you like them or if you don't like them much, comment down below and I'll promise to answer you. Now, let's start. This is my test Home Assistant. I'll press the C button and I'll open the add-on store. I'll select Navigate Add-on Store, and this is it. In the first part of this series, I installed every official add-ons from here to the ESP Home. You can check it right here. After that, I started with the community add-ons, and I started from the WireGuard Home and I reached Grafana. Where is Grafana? Here it is. That was part 2 of this series. You can see it right here. And now I'll start from Grocy and hopefully I'll reach to ZeroTier One add-on. I hope my test system, which is a Raspberry Pi 5 with 8 gigs of RAM and 64 gigabytes of SD storage, will handle all of these add-ons. But let's see that. I'll click on Grocy. ERP Beyond Your Fridge, a groceries and household management solution for your home. Visit the Grocy page for more details. Okay, I'm going to do that. This is the GitHub page. Frank is the author again. And it seems to me that Grocy is a complicated to-do list for groceries. And it has a beautiful web interface, as it can be seen here. But let's click on install while we are looking around. This is the Grocy, it is installing at the moment. While we are waiting, I'll open 3 more tabs, actually 2 more tabs. One for the storage and one for the CPU and memory. System, storage and system hardware. On this page, I'll check the disk usage after every Home Assistant add-on, community add-on installation. Currently, 14.2 gigabytes are used out of 57.8. And on this page, I'll check my CPU and memory usage. Currently, the processor is around 5%, 7%, and the memory is at around 1.5 out of 8. We have some peaks here to 20 to 16%, but these peaks are temporary. Let's see what happened here. Grocy is installed. I will enable Watchdog, Auto Update, and Show in Sidebar. This is it. This is the link to Grocy shown in the sidebar, and I'll click on Start. We have some configuration, but I started with the default one. I hope it will be enough. You can change the currency from here. You can change the entry page. And you can add some features and tweaks. You can enable or disable SSL. And let me see what happened. Is it started? Yes. And now I can open it either from this Open Web UI or by clicking on this button. I'll open it in another tab. Will it open? Yes, it is, but it asks me for a password. I don't know what the password is. I can check the documentation. Admin. Okay. Admin, stay logged in permanently. And this is it. I don't like it. To be honest, I don't like it. It is too crowded for me, and it have a dark theme, which I also didn't like much, but it doesn't matter. We have a shopping list, we have a recipes, new plan, tasks, equipment, very crowded add-on with a lot of options, battery tracking, you can take pictures, barcodes, manage master data, stores. Oh my god, this is an entire ERP, and there are a lot of settings, and it even have API, so you can use the API of Grocy to insert some things and to remove some things in real time. Let me check one thing. Is it added in the Home Assistant to-do list? I will not save these passwords. No, it is not added right here. If I go to the integration, let me check that as well. Do you see any Grocy here? How to detect it? No. Let me see if there is a Grocy integration. No, that's not good. That's not good. I expected this Grocy to be added in Home Assistant and to see the entities inside, so I can manage the to-do lists of Grocy using automations and scripts, but probably that's possible using the APIs. Nevertheless, this is Grocy. Let me check the disk usage. 0.5% more if you installed Grocy, and if you have 64 gigabytes of SD storage. The processor and the memory are not changed. We have some peaks here again to 9%, but I am far from the top. And both for memory and for the CPU. And I'm going forward to the next add-on, which is, where it is, add-on store, Grocy InfluxDB. This is another not very light, or I must say heavy add-on. I'll click on install. Frank is the author. I have an article about it. It is about Grafana and InfluxDB. InfluxDB is a time series DB. It is different than the traditional relational databases, and it is quite fast for some type of data. And this is my article. It is available on my website phpMyAdmin.com. I have a video tutorial and an article where I'm showing how to use InfluxDB and Grafana and how to integrate them in Home Assistant. InfluxDB is an open source time series database optimized for high write volume. It is useful for recording metrics, sensor data, events, and performing analytics. It exposes a HTTP API for client interaction, and it is often used in combination with Grafana to visualize the data. Good, very, very good. I like this add-on. And if you want some advanced dashboards with a lot of data from your sensors, and if you have a lot of sensors, this is a good option. Okay, InfluxDB is now installed. I'll enable Watchdog, Auto Update, and Show in Sidebar. Look at my sidebar. It is becoming enormous. This is it, InfluxDB. I'll click on Start. Configuration, I didn't check the configuration. If the add-on don't start, I'll check the configuration and documentation. But until then, let me see what's happening. Yes, it is started. The initial CPU usage of this add-on is not negligible, but nevertheless, let's check it out. Where it is, InfluxDB, I'll open in another tab. And this is it. We have host lists, we have explore option, dashboards. You can create dashboards here as well, but they are not as detailed and agile as the one in the Grafana. You can make alerts, you can check the logs. This is where you can add users and databases, and we have a configuration tab. It is a very big add-on, guys. It is a profession. If you know how to use InfluxDB and Grafana, you can apply for jobs for that and you receive good salary probably. So if you want to know more, check the documentation, check YouTube for InfluxDB and Grafana combination because it is great. The best thing here is that after a few clicks, you can have it up and running on your Home Assistant, inside your Home Assistant, and you can play with it as long as you wish. I'll check the storage, where it is. 0.9% more disk usage, and CPU and memory are probably the same. I'll close the Grocy, I'll close this window as well, and I'll close the InfluxDB. And I'll go to the next add-on, which is JupyterLab. This is very popular. I heard it and I never use it. Let's see what it is. Create documents containing live code, equations, visualizations, and explanatory text. Visit JupyterLab page for more details. I guess it is a GitHub page. Yes, it is. And it is quite similar to the documentation tab right here. Or maybe not. Let's hit on install. JupyterLab is an open source web application that allows you to create and share documents that contain live code, equations, visualizations, and narrative text. Uses include data cleaning and transformation, numerical simulation, statistical modeling, data visualization, machine learning, and much more. Good. This add-on runs JupyterLab, which is the next generation user interface for Project Jupyter. It is extensible environment for interactive and reproducible computing based on the Jupyter notebook and architecture. Good, very good. Is it installed yet? Let me see if this JupyterLab is installed. Yes, it is. I'll enable watchdog, auto update, and show in sidebar. And I'll click on start. And then I'll open it in another tab to see the web interface of this add-on. I'll click on retry. Oh, I like it. It is very clean. Would you like to receive official Jupyter news? No. And I have notebooks, console, and other categories. And I can create new files from here. And I can run some tasks on them. I can restart the kernel of this. It is very, very detailed. I have some add-ons here, extension manager, and I can add some extensions. And if I open a text file, what's happening? Nothing. How I can go back, save, Python console. Okay, I open Python console inside JupyterLab, type help, and brackets for interactive help. If this is your first time using Python, you should definitely check out the tutorial on the internet and so on and so forth. I can also create a markdown file. And good, I can make it simple. I can open some stuff from here. Okay, I can change the theme. And it seems that it is working. We have some more icons here that I'm not sure what are doing. Inspector, property inspector, and debugger. Okay, good. Let me check the disk metrics. I forgot to remember the old value here, so I guess it is up a bit. And the processor and memory. The memory is a bit up with 0.1 or 0.2% or gigabytes more, but that's quite normal. This is whole another universe, and this universe is called JupyterLab. I'll go back and I'll install the next add-on, which is, where it is, where is JupyterLab? Lidarr. Looks and smells like Sonarr, but made for music. What the hell is this? I don't know what is Sonarr and how it smells, but I'll click on install on Lidarr. Let me check if Lidarr is installed. Yes, it is. I'll enable watchdog and auto update. Lidarr is a music collection manager for Usenet and BitTorrent users. It can monitor multiple RSS feeds for new tracks from your favorite artist and will grab, sort, and rename them. Good. I'll click on start. It opens 8686 port on your network, but that's fine. Is it started? No. Why? Something is not okay for this. Oh, it is started. It took some time, but it is started. Good. I'll open the web UI. Authentication required. browser pop-up, username, enter a new username. Let me try that way. Add a root folder, add new artist. Okay, I'll try to add new artist. For example, Dua Lipa. And what about it? I can open some web page on Music Brains. I don't have time to explore this because we have a lot of add-ons ahead. But it seems like a working add-on, and if you know and if you need such add-on that will sort and get new songs and tracks from your favorite artists from Usenet and BitTorrent, you can use that. And let me check the disk metrics, 27.7, 0.3% more of my 64 gigabytes SD card storage and 0.1 gigabytes more out of 8 gigs of my Raspberry Pi 5. CPU is probably the same. Good, I'll close some tabs now because I'm getting confused. And I'll go to the next add-on, which is Lidarr. Where is Lidarr? Log Viewer. Browser-based log utility for Home Assistant. Good. I'll hit on install. Easily monitor your Home Assistant logs in your web browser. Custom filtering is available to make it simple to differentiate different types of logs. I'll enable everything and I'll hit on start. We have some configuration here, but I'll not change anything and I'll hope for the best. And the best is this to be started. Yes, it is. And I can open the web UI in another tab eventually, or maybe not. I'll open it in this one. Disconnect, connect, disable auto scroll, clear console, connected. I'm not seeing anything inside, which is a pity. Maybe I should configure something. To see more logs, be sure to enable the logger integration in your Home Assistant configuration.yaml. And I'm not sure what it is enabled right now. Nothing is happening. Maybe I should do something in my Home Assistant to see something in the log. I'll leave this open for now to check what will say after I install next add-on, but before that I'll check the disk metrics. It is the same, it is not changed, and the CPU is also the same. Okay, I'll leave this log viewer open and I'll open another tab where I'll install the next add-on, add-on store, a log viewer, and motionEye is the next add-on. I like that add-on. I'll hit on install and I'll try to explain what this motionEye is. It is kind of software NVR, network video recorder. But more than that, it has a lot of features, and I have a dedicated video and article about motionEye. It is available in my website phpMyAdmin.com, and if I click on the search button and if I type motionEye here, I'll see my 2 articles and videos about that. But this one is more detailed. It is from 2021, but it is still valid, I believe. And this is the video, this is the article. I'm saying how you can install it here, and how you can add cameras to your motionEye. It supports RTSP streams and many more streams, and hardware cameras, and there are a lot of options after that. And you can integrate motionEye in your Home Assistant very beautifully, I must say. Let's see what Frank said about motionEye. It's already installed. I'll not change the configuration. I'll just click on start. motionEye is a popular front-end to the camera software called Motion. The add-on provides both, allowing you to add your cameras in your HAS.io setup, meaning Home Assistant setup. motionEye is open source CCTV and NVR that is elegant and really easy to use. It can be used as a baby monitor, construction site montage, construction site viewer, store camera, DVR, garden security, and much more. Some cool features. This is getting interesting. Support for ridiculous amount of cameras, including IP cams. Add multiple cameras by hooking up multiple motionEye instances together. For example, by using motionEye OS on Pi 0 plus Pi camera in your network. Supports uploading, recording into Google Drive and Dropbox. Motion detection, including email notifications and scheduling. Can record continuously motion or time-lapse with retention settings. Good. Is it started yet? Yes, it is. And I can open it in another tab to see how it is looking like. I have to log in, but I don't know the password. Let me check it. In the documentation, where are the credentials? Here are they. Admin without password. Okay. Admin without password. Remember me, login. You have not configured any camera yet. Click here to add one, and from this dialog you can add your network camera, your local camera, or your remote camera. And after you click OK, you can set how you can store the footage, where to store it, what will happen if motion is detected, and all of that inside your Home Assistant after one-click install of this motionEye add-on. Good. Let me check few things now. The log viewer is not changed at all. Even after I installed another add-on, I guess I have to add this logger option in my configuration, or I have to change the configuration of this add-on. I don't know. I will close it for now. The disk usage is changed a bit, and the memory is 0.1 gigabytes more. After installation of the motionEye, I'll close these tabs and I'll go to the next add-on, which is MQTT IO. I'll click on install, expose GPIO modules and digital sensors via MQTT for remote control and monitoring. That generally means that if I connect some sensors to my Raspberry Pi GPIOs, I can use this add-on to communicate with them over MQTT. Let me check the configuration. There is one configuration file, config.yaml, that is located in config MQTT IO folder. I'll click on start, and the add-on is started. This is the documentation. This is explaining what you can add in the configuration file. There are some external links if you need more info, but I don't need such info right now. I only need to check the disk metrics and the CPU. The processor goes up a bit, but I don't believe this is due to this MQTT IO add-on. Let me check the info page. Yes, the add-on CPU usage is 0% and the RAM usage is also 0%. So that means something else is eating my resources. And now they are back to normal, so I can continue forward to the next add-on, which is Network UPS Tools. Manage battery backups UPS devices. I'll click on install. This add-on allows you to easily manage battery backup UPS devices connected to your Home Assistant machine. That's good. If your Home Assistant is mission critical device and you have a UPS and this UPS is kind of a dump and doesn't have an interface, you can use this add-on to communicate with this UPS eventually if it is supported. It has a detailed documentation, more than 140 different manufacturers and several thousand models are compatible, and you can see them right here in this link. Oh, great. You can search here by model, device type, and so on. And if you see your UPS model right here, that means this add-on can connect to it. Is it installed already? Will it start? I'm not sure. Yes, it is. And we have some warnings here in the logs about the username, but generally the add-ons is started, and I'm not sure how you can manage your UPS. Probably if I had one, I had to configure it using this sample right here, and then I will be able to see it somewhere inside. Good. Let's check the CPU and memory. The memory is a bit up. The disk usage is 0.2% more, which is negligible. And I'm moving forward to the next add-on, which is Nginx Proxy Manager. I'm not sure what is the difference between this add-on and the other official Nginx add-on. Manage Nginx proxy hosts with a simple, powerful interface. It is made by Frank, which means that this add-on is probably a good one. This add-on enables you to easily forward incoming connections to anywhere, including free SSL, without having to know too much about Nginx or Let's Encrypt. Forward your domain to your Home Assistant, add-ons, or websites running at home or anywhere else, straight from a simple, powerful interface. For the power users, you can customize the behavior of each host in the Nginx Proxy Manager by providing additional Nginx directives. Good. The add-on is installed. I'll try to start it. And it is started. I can open the web UI in the new tab. I have to authenticate myself, but I'm not sure how. And the login using admin@example.com, and the password is change.me. Let me try that. Change.me. Not now. I can type my full name and nickname here, and my email. I'll leave them as they are. Default email must be changed. Okay, and I have to change the password. Change.me is the current password, and I'll use my password manager for generating a strong password for me, and I'll click on save. And now I have a dashboard where I can add hosts, access list, SSL certificates, users. I can see the logs, and this is the settings. Good. I like that. It seems like a useful add-on. Let me see the disk usage after installation of this Nginx Proxy Manager. It is up a bit, and the memory and CPU are the same. Good. I'll go back and I'll install the next add-on, which is Node-RED. Great. Again, the author is Frank. Node-RED is a great tool. It is a very powerful. You can create flows and you can manage your devices that way instead of creating automations. And it is super powerful and very intuitive. You can use that as a smart home hub, kind of, and it is very well maintained. It is constantly updating and evolving. Let me enable everything here, and about the configuration, I will not change anything, and I hope it will start that way. Node-RED is a programming tool for wiring together hardware devices, APIs, and online services in new and interesting ways. It provides a browser-based editor that makes it easy to wire together flows using a wide range of nodes in the palette that can be deployed to its runtime in a single click. Is it started? No. Why? SSL option. I have to disable the SSL and I have to click on save, and after that I have to click on start. I hope this time it will be better. Starting Nginx. It started. No, not yet. But at least I don't see any errors, any red text here in the logs. As I said, this stuff is kind of heavy. It is whole another system inside your home assistant. And now it is started. I can try to open the web UI. I'll open it from the sidebar because I want to open the link in the new tab. Welcome to Node-RED. Start. New ways to work with groups. Next. This is some kind of a wizard. And this is it, guys. This is called a flow. And you can add some things here. For example, like this call service. Like this tag, and you can connect them together like that, but I guess it should be other way around. And you can create flows, and you can deploy that flow, and if this flow is successfully deployed, it will start running. Every node here can be configured. If it has such a triangle here, something is missing. You have to remove this triangle by add something, and it is very powerful. You have a home assistant section where you can add some switches, some sensors. You have common section. You can add more palettes from settings, from manage palette. You can install a lot of things from here. For example, if you are looking for what ESP home, and you find a palette for Node-RED for ESP home, and you can install it, and you have some nodes about ESP home right in your Node-RED. It is a really powerful tool. You can do basically anything here. If you know a bit of JavaScript, you can write your own methods and functions and procedures, everything, and after that you can deploy it. I use Node-RED for my heating management because it's kind of complicated. It uses some MQTT, and I have a dashboard somewhere here where I can open from any web browser, and I can control my heating that way. And I like that add-on. I'm using it. In the past I used it a lot. Now I moved everything to Home Assistant, but Node-RED is still functioning for some parts, as I told you about my heating. And let me check the disk metrics. It is up a bit, and the memory is also up. 2.3 gigabytes out of 8. Good, but we are far from the top, guys, until now. Let me see what the next add-on is, and it is Observer with double R. I'll click on Install. A request management and media discovery tool for Plex ecosystem. Visit Observer page for more details. Observer is a multi-platform binary newsgroup downloader. The program works in the background and simplifies the downloading, verifying and extracting of files from Usenet. So if you're using Usenet and Plex, this add-on can help you, and you can install it with a one click of a button inside your Home Assistant. From what I can see here, the version is 0.1.0. I can open the changelog. Initial release. So this is the first release of this add-on, and it is not updated since, which is not a very good sign. It is either very stable and no changes are needed, or it is abandoned. Okay, Observer is installed now. I'll try to start it. No configuration. It opens a port in my network, but this is the default one, and I'll not change it. I'll click on Start. I just saw that this add-on is not called Observer. It is called Overseer. I don't know what I'm reading. The add-on is Overseer, and it is now started. I can open the web UI in another tab. But now I have to sign in my Plex account, and after I sign in, this add-on will try to download, verify and extracting files of from Usenet. And I'm not sure how to use this Usenet, I never use it. But if you're such a user, maybe this will be useful for you. Anyways, let me check the disk usage and I'll close some tabs before that. And the memory usage. Disk usage 29.9 and now 31.3. It is up a bit. And the memory is also up a bit, 2.5 gigabytes out of 8. The processor is staying around 5 or 6%, which is good. I now move forward to the next add-on, which is Overseer phpMyAdmin, a web interface to the official MariaDB add-on. So, if you have MariaDB add-on installed, you can use this add-on to manage your MariaDB database. Simple as that. This is one of the main tools for the PHP stack. I was using phpMyAdmin before to manage my MySQL databases, and MariaDB is a MySQL derivative, so phpMyAdmin can manage it as well. This is a database administration tool for MySQL and MariaDB, frequently used. Operations, managing databases, tables, columns, relations, indexes, and so on and so forth. This add-on was specifically designed to manage the official Home Assistant MariaDB add-on. Okay, so again, if you have this add-on installed, this MariaDB add-on, which is part of the official add-ons, where it is, this one. If you have this and you want to manage to create new tables, new columns, new indexes, you can install phpMyAdmin and you can use it. The add-on is not started for some reason. Maybe I should start the MariaDB add-on first, so this add-on to be able to connect to it and manage. Yes, missing required option password for MariaDB, and I have to edit the configuration and I have to add this password for MariaDB and probably user, and after that phpMyAdmin will connect to that MariaDB. Now I cannot start it, but I can check the disk usage. It is up with 0.4%. The processor is up a bit and the memory is staying the same. Actually, and the processor is staying the same. And I can move to the next add-on from the community add-ons of Home Assistant, which is phpMyAdmin Plex Media Server. Good. The Plex add-on brings your favorite media together in one place, making it beautiful and easy to enjoy. The Plex Media Server provided by this add-on organizes your personal video, music and photo collections and streams them to all your devices. Probably you know what Plex is. I used this tool a lot in the past, but then they introduced some paid tiers, they required some accounts, and I stopped using it. As far as I know, it is still free, you can use it for free, and the best part is that you can stream and you can sort and you can organize your media using this Plex Media Server. Again, one-click installation and you have this in your Home Assistant, which is beautiful way to test the water. When adding media locations, please use share and media as the base directories. So if you put some movies or music inside these folders, Plex can scan them and can sort them and can get the thumbnail of this media and can get the subtitles and everything. The add-on is already installed. Good. And I can try to start it. Claim code. I need to log into my Plex account. If I don't have Plex account, I have to create one for free. And then I can claim a code. And this code I have to paste here in order this add-on to start. And the add-on is started. Good. Can I open it? No. There is something. Add-on configuration is incomplete. Plex requires a claim code on the first run. That's the reason why. It is started but not quite. Yes, now it is stopped. I'll disable the watchdog because this watchdog will try to start it on and on, but it will always fail because of this missing claim code configuration. Okay, let me check the disk usage. I'll close this MariaDB. Disk usage 32%. And these metrics are the same because this add-on is actually not starting. And I'm going to the next one, which is add-on store, Plex media server, Prowlarr. I cannot pronounce this, but I can install it. This is an indexer manager proxy built on popular R.NET React's base stack to integrate with your various PVR apps. Prowlarr supports management on both torrent trackers and Usenet indexers. It integrates seamlessly with Lidarr, Mylarr, and few more, offering complete management of your indexers with no per app indexer setup required. It does it all. Good. I hope I'll manage to install it and start it, so I can see at least the web interface. This is kind of a tiger here inside, so it is kind of scary and serious. Let's see. The installation is complete. I'll try to start it. No configuration is needed. 9696 port will be open in my home network on my Home Assistant device. The add-on is started. I can try to open the web UI. It is looking very similar to the previous WireGuard add-on that I installed. Again, I'll add subscribe now as a username and password, and this is how this add-on is looking like. I forgot already the name. History, search, settings, system. Okay. It have a homepage, wiki, Reddit, Discord. If you need more info, you can find it. You can add indexer from here, UK, UA, 0-day Kiev, magnet. I'm not sure what these are. I added it. Oh, this is in the XXX category. Let me try another one. Unable to connect. Let me try this. I can test it as well. Oh, this one is added. And now what? Can I search for something? Avatar. I have two indexers, and one of them is containing some movies, audios, PCs, TV, books. Harry Potter. I can search both for movie and book. That way, search all indexers, and I found something. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, 2 gigabytes, and probably I can download it, which is probably not very legal, but who knows, it may be legal. Nevertheless, let's check the disk metrics. 32.4 and 2.6 memory, 6% CPU, great. I will continue to the next add-on, which is we installed this one with the easy to read name, and now we are at the Radarr. I'll hit on install. Movie Organizer Manager for Usenet and torrent users. Radarr is a movie collection manager for Usenet and BitTorrent. It is the same as the previous one. I don't know what's the difference between all of these add-ons ending with WireGuard. But probably if you're using them, you know that better than me. Nevertheless, I'll try to open my previous add-on that had some Radarr integration, if I remember correctly. Which one was it? I'll search for WR. I think it was this Bazaar. I'll open the web UI of this Bazaar. And yes, it have an integration with Radarr and Sonarr. And now I'm installing this Radarr. I'll enable it. I'll enable all of these switches right here and I'll click on Start. And after that, I will try to enable this switch here to see what will happen. And my Bazaar add-on will be integrated with my Radarr add-on. Let me try to open the web UI before that. Again, the similar authentication, initial authentication dialog. Subscribe. Now, save. And this is it. This is the Radarr. It is looking exactly the same, at least to me, as the previous add-on. Let me try to enable this Radarr switch, and now I have to enter some details here and the API key probably test. I have to get an API key from here somewhere, I don't know where. Events, updates, backup tasks, settings, media management, import, connect, connections, add connection, webhook, where is your API? I'll try the search, API, subscribe now. It found some movies, guys. It found some movies, but not the thing that... Oh, here it is, API key. I don't know, I don't want to reset, I want to copy that API key and I want to paste it in my Bazaar, and I'll click on test, connection error. Let me change the IP. Version 5.3.6. Is this my Radarr? I'll close this. I'm not sure. Where is my Radarr? This is it. How can I see my version? I'm not sure. Status health 5.3.6. Yes, I successfully connected my Bazaar to my Radarr add-on, and now I can do something with them, but I'm not sure what. I guess I have to save the changes somewhere. Save. Good. And now my Bazaar is having Radarr integration. And what's the difference? I don't know, but at least I managed to connect them. Let me check the... I'll close everything else. I'll close the Radarr. I'll close the Bazaar add-on, and I'll check the CPU and memory usage. Memory usage is a bit up, 2.7, and disk metrics are almost the same. I'll continue forward to the next add-on, which is Readarr, another WR add-on. This is a book manager and automation. It is like a Sonarr for ebooks. Good. Ebook and audiobook collection manager for Usenet and BitTorrent users. It can monitor multiple RSS feeds for new books from your favorite authors and will grab, sort and rename them. Note that only one type of given book is supported. It is not having any configuration, I think. And after the installation is complete, I'll try to start it. I also think that this is the initial version of this add-on and it is not updated since then. Yes, that means there are no much changes here. But if it is working, what else is needed? I'll open the web UI in another tab. No authors found. To get started, you will want to add a new author or book, or add an existing library, location, root folder, and update. Add new author. And you can search here by title, J.K. Rowling, for example, J.K. Rowling, Harriet Porter, J.K. Rowling. This is it. US edition, The Order of Phoenix. Add Harry Potter, but I have an invalid path. Where is my root folder? It is in media, for example. Save. Media. Add Harry Potter. And I added Harry Potter in my media. Bookshelf is empty. I'm not sure how to use that. Update all. Most probably you can use this add-on to download books, audio and textbooks from internet. Anyways, let's check the disk metrics. 32.9 and processor. Oh, I hit the fresh. I lost my history now, but nevertheless 2.8 gigabytes out of 8 and 6% CPU usage. Okay, let's continue to the next add-on, which is SABnzbd, free and easy binary news reader. SABnzbd. I'm not sure how this is pronounced. Anyways, I'll hit on install. This is a multi-platform binary newsgroup downloader. The program works in the background and simplifies the downloading, verifying and extracting of files from Usenet. Again, Usenet. Okay, this add-on with the strange name is installed and I can even show it in the sidebar somewhere here. I'll click on start. Is there any configuration? No. Set the download folder to, for example, media, something downloads complete. Okay. And the add-on is started. I can open the web UI. I can select a language here and there is a wizard. Please enter in the details of your primary Usenet provider. I don't know any Usenet provider, so sorry about that. But if you do, you can type it right here, host, username, password. You can test the server and then you can download some stuff from this Usenet provider. Let me check the disk metrics. 33.2 and the CPU is the same at 5 or 6% and the memory is 2.9 out of 8. Good. I'll move to the next add-on, which is, I'll click on add-on store. We are somewhere here, yes, and we reached Sonarr. Again with double R. We are on fire of installing double R add-ons. Smart PVR for newsgroup and BitTorrent user. It can monitor multiple RSS feeds for new episodes of your favorite shows and will grab, sort and rename the same description as the Bazaar, Lidarr, and what was the name of the other add-ons. I'm not sure what's the difference between all of these add-ons and why we need them all. I think their purpose is duplicated, but I'm not an expert here. Maybe they are needed, and if you are a Usenet and BitTorrent user, this will be very useful for you. The add-on is started and I can open the web UI. Same dialog for creating a username, subscribe. Now, really, subscribe if you haven't done that already. And the same interface, guys. You can search for movies here and they will appear eventually. And you can add another providers, and if you add more providers, you have more access to more movies, books and music. Why I need to authenticate myself again, I'm not sure. One season upcoming. Okay, it seems that it is working, but I'm more interested in the disk matrix. It is not changed, and the processor is not changed as well. And I can move to the next add-on, which is Spotify Connect. I'll click on it, I'll click on install. This add-on will play Spotify music on your Home Assistant device. So, if you have speakers connected to your Home Assistant device, you can install this add-on and you can play music from here. The Home Assistant Spotify Connect add-on allows you to use your device running Home Assistant to play your Spotify music. This add-on uses the Spotify Connect protocol, which makes it show up a device that can be controlled by all the official clients. Good. For example, running Home Assistant on a Raspberry Pi with this add-on installed will allow you to play your Spotify music via the Pi. So all you have to do is hook up your sound system to the Pi. Good. The add-on is installed. I'll click on Start. And it is started. Great. I guess to really use this add-on you have to add a bit of configuration here. As described in the documentation, you have to add your Spotify username and password, and after that you can use it. Let me check the disk matrix. 33.4 currently, now is .6. And what about the processor and memory? They are the same. Processor is probably a bit up, but it doesn't matter. I'll move to the next add-on, which is SQLite Web. Explore your SQLite database. That will be interesting add-on for me. Explore your Home Assistant database from your web browser. This enables you to easily explore all tables and content that is saved in your database. Great. I never checked and installed this add-on before. It seems that there is no much of configuration needed. I just have to install it and start it. I'll enable everything here and I'll click on Start. SQLite Web. Great, here it is. This is the file name where my Home Assistant database is stored. Its current size is 19.6 megabytes and I can see some data. And I can also see the SQL that is used to query that data. Some statistics. Good, but it is a dangerous add-on because I can drop something and probably after that the Home Assistant will not work as expected. These are the columns, this is the primary key, and this is the indexes, but where is the data, content? Oh, here it is. This is the content, this is the data. Zero BMI, good. You can query everything that way. Some events, you can check them all. Some states. Below horizon, probably about the sun, last changed, timestamp. Great add-on. If you are a developer or if you want to check something, you can use that add-on. I'll close it for now. I'll close this add-on as well, this tab as well, and I'll check the disk matrix. It is 33.7 and the CPU is at 7%, memory is still at 2.9. Actually, the CPU is back to 5 again, and I'll move to the next add-on, which is... Next add-on is... where it is? Studio Code Server. Fully featured Visual Studio Code or VS Code experience integrated in Home Assistant frontend. Good, I'll hit on install. This add-on runs Visual Studio Code, allowing you to edit your Home Assistant configuration straight from the web browser and can be embedded straight into the Home Assistant front-end UI. The add-on has the Home Assistant MDI icons and YAML extensions pre-installed and pre-configured right out of the box. This means that auto-completion works instantly without the need for configuring anything. Great, really great. A lot of Home Assistant users are using this Studio Code Server. I'm not one of them. I prefer File Editor. It is simpler and lightweight than this, I think, but I must say that this is a good add-on as well. If you prefer it, you should use it instead, especially with this auto-completion functionality. And if you're writing a lot of YAML code in your Home Assistant, this is a must-have for you. Is it installed yet? No. It is well maintained, it is regularly updated. Frank is the author, and that guarantees that everything is fine with this add-on. It is not yet installed for some reason. I guess it is not so lightweight, but we'll see that in a second or two. Or maybe my Raspberry Pi 5 is burning right now. With so many add-ons, guys, I have installed almost every add-on. I have few more left, but some of them are really heavy, and I'm starting to feel some slowdowns here. Or this is... oh, it is installed already. I'll enable everything. No configurations. I can add some packages here on and init commands, but I'll not do anything else. I'll just click on start. And it is started, guys. I'll open it in another tab. Where it is, Studio Code Server. Choose your theme, just the right amount of UI, rich support for all your languages, unlock productivity with the command palette, quickly navigate between your files. I'll enable few of these. Actually, I'll enable all of them. Next. I'll click on Markdown, and this is it. Config, blueprints, ESP home, scenes.yaml, scripts.yaml. Where is my configuration.yaml? Here it is. And now I can try to add something. For example, ID. As you can see, the auto completion is working good. Alias. Here it is. Description. And that way I can type quickly YAML code if I wish to, and then I have to save. Where is the save button? Oh, I don't have to click on save anywhere, which is good. It is auto saving my changes. I'll revert them back. I'll close this. Good, I like that. Yes, it remembers my changes without having to do anything else. And that's it. That is the Studio Code Server. I have some cogwheel here. I have some extensions, keyboard shortcuts. I can run something, I can search, I can enable source control, and good. It is a good add-on, as I told you before. Let me check the disk metrics. 35.1. It is a big add-on, I must say. And what happened with the memory? It drops a bit. No, it is back to 2.9. The processor is at 6% to 8%, I think, so everything is normal. I will close that for now. And now go to the next add-on. Inside add-on store, the community add-ons, and we are at the Tailscale Zero Config VPN for building secure networks. Good, I'll click on install. Tailscale can be installed on any device in minutes, including your home system instance. Create a secure network between your servers, computers, and cloud instances, even when separated by firewalls or subnets. Tailscale just works. Tailscale manages firewall rules for you and works for anywhere you are. Great add-on again from Frank, showing sidebar. I have nothing to configure here, and this is the documentation. There are some configs here. Why I don't see them? Anyways, I'll try to start it to see what will happen. And it started, guys. Great. I'll open the web UI. Your device key has expired. How come? Re-authenticate. I have a blocked pop-up here. Let me open it. Login to connect a device to your Tailnet. Okay, I have to log in with my Google or Microsoft or GitHub account or with a passkey. Let me try that. I will not do that. I will not log in anywhere, but if I log with my Google account, for example, I can continue to the next step, and then I can configure this Tailscale VPN. Let me check the hardware. 7% CPU or 5% CPU and 2.8. Nothing is changed, but have in mind that this Tailscale is not running because I didn't complete this initial re-authentication that is required. So I'll close that and I'll go to the next add-on, which is the next add-on. I'm not sure. We reached Tailscale. The next add-on is TasmoAdmin. Good. If you have Tasmoto devices, a lot of Tasmoto devices, this add-on is right for you. Manage all your son of Tasmoto devices at once. This is how it is looking like. I'll click on Start. Basically, all of your Tasmotized or devices that are flashed with Tasmoto can be added in one single place, and you can manage them from there. I think you can update them, yes, you can delete them, you can reconfigure them. Frank is the author again. Is it started? No, it is not. It is still starting. SSL option is enabled and it is bugging this add-on a bit, but let's see. I'll try to disable it and I'll click on save. Is it going to start now? I hope so. Scans your networks and adds your devices automatically, so you don't have to do anything. If you have Tasmoto devices in your network, they will be found and be added in this dashboard. See the status of all your devices quick and easy. Configure all your devices from a single place. Send out firmware updates over the air to one or more of your devices at once, and can automatically download the latest firmware for you. Great. And it is started. Let me check the web UI. How can I log in? How can I see the default username and password? Why they are not written right here in the documentation, or I can simply didn't see them. I cannot log in, guys. Let me search TasmoAdmin default login. This is not a login page, but a register page. Okay, good. So I have to type my username and password that I wish to use. It is misleading, I must say. Subscribe. Now. Register. Not now. And no devices found. I actually have some devices, but they're not found. I have to change the IP. Okay, from and to IP range should be changed, and I should also add device username and password if I have such in my TasmoAdmin devices, and when I auto scan they will be found eventually. And this is it. This is the TasmoAdmin add-on. Let me check the disk usage. It is up by 0.2%, and the memory and CPU are not changed. I'll close the other tabs. Good, and I'll go to the next add-on, which is the next add-on? I cannot say that correctly. I'm sure Tautulli, or something like that. Monitoring and tracking tool for Plex media server. Okay, you can run that application alongside your Plex media server to monitor activity and track various statistics. Most importantly, these statistics include what has been watched, who watched it, when and where they watched it, and how it was watched. All statistics are present in a nice and clean interface with many tables and graphs, which makes it easy to brag about your server to everyone else. If you want to know these things, that may be useful for you, but not for me. I'm not even using Plex media, so this is useless to me. It is a setup wizard. I have to authenticate here, and I failed because I don't have Plex media server started and installed. If you are a Plex user and if you want to have additional statistics about your playing time, your watching time, you can use this add-on. It is started, so it should take some usage of my system. No, processor and CPU are in the same range. And what about the disk usage? 35.5, a bit up, but it is quite normal. And I'm moving to the next add-on, which is the launch, a self-hosted web IRC client. IRC client, guys, I'm not sure, do you know what is IRC? We used that in the past to chat with each other, and it was a lot of fun back then, but now it is outdated, I believe. These clients and this protocol and these servers are not that popular anymore. Nevertheless, I'll enable everything here and I'll click on Start. A self-hosted web IRC client that uses a modern and sleek interface with support for theming, push notification, link previews, file uploads and more. Fully cross-platform and mobile friendly. Good. I'll just try to open the web UI. No, it is not started. Probably I have to configure something. A required add-on configuration option is missing. Please set a value for the users option. Users option. What is the default value? Of users, a list of users to set up. But first, this will be the default password. Okay, one user. And save. Start. Now it is started. But is it really? Yes, it is. Okay, this is the password. Hasio is the password, and I defined a user named one because I thought that this is about the number of users, not the username. Anyways, let me try to log in with username 1 and password Hasio. Good, now I have to change the password. I'll change it to subscribe and I'll click on connect. The launch. What happened? It seems I'm not connected. And now I am. Good. And now if you have a client, an IRC client, you can connect to this server and we can chat that way. And here I can see my real IP and I have to mask it. Anyways, this is the launch, the IRC web server inside Home Assistant. Let me check. I'll go back. Let me check I'll close that as well. Let me check the disk metrics and the CPU. 3 gigabytes. We reached 3 gigabytes out of 8. How cool is that? And I'm going to install the next add-on, which is Tor. I have a dedicated video and article about that add-on. It is available in my website phpMyAdmin and in my YouTube channel. Where is Tor? The Onion site. Here it is. Using this add-on, you can access your Home Assistant installation remotely and securely without paying anything. You just have to use a Tor client. Everything is well described in this article and video, of course. If you want to set this up, you can go to my website, you can go to my YouTube channel, and you can watch or read this. Basically, it will make your Home Assistant an Onion site, and you don't have to open any ports on your router, you don't have to have a real IP, you just have to use a Tor client, and you have to type your Onion address in this Tor client, and you access your Home Assistant from anywhere in the world. And it is great add-on. The remote opening of your Home Assistant may be a bit slow, but that's quite normal because your connection is hopping from server to server, and that way nobody can trace that, and it is quite secure. Everything is well described here. Again, check it and check this article and video and you'll be good to go. And now I will check the disk metrics. Usage is up a bit, but not a lot, not by a lot. And also the memory and CPUs are also fine. And I'll go to the next one. I'm not sure it will be started because I have to add some clients here. I have to add some configuration. It is not so lightweight add-on and it is taking a while to start, but let me check the logs. No errors, which is good. Alice Tor client picks a random path to destination server, and it took that part to reach the BOP. And this BOP can be your Home Assistant installation. Is it started? No, it is not. It is a heavy add-on. Access your Home Assistant instance remotely without opening a firewall port or setting up a VPN. Don't want to or know how to get an SSL TLS certificate and HTTPS configuration setup. Want to block attackers from even being able to scan your port and server at all. Want to block anyone from knowing your home IP address and seeing your traffic to your Home Assistant. All these things can be done after you install and start the Tor add-on inside the Home Assistant community add-ons. The add-on also offers possibility to open a SOC proxy into the Tor network, allowing you to access Tor from any of your SOC supporting applications through your Home Assistant installation. Good. I must say great. I'm still recording, guys, and we are at the Tor add-on. We have some more add-ons ahead and they're quite interesting. I can't wait to see them. Especially one of them. I'm talking about Traccar because I wanted to check it out before, but I didn't have enough time to do that, and now is a great time to see what this add-on is doing. Is it going to start? Because I have an article and video about one GPS device, and this GPS device can be integrated with Traccar, and I wanted to do that. Okay, Tor is started, and if I remember correctly, yes, I can see my Home Assistant address in Tor network right here in the log. And if I open this address.onion using a Tor client or Onion client from anywhere in the world, I will actually open and I will reach my local Home Assistant installation without doing anything else, which is great. I love that. 0.5% RAM usage and 0% CPU usage. Let me double check that. Disk space is not changed much. We have plenty more disk space. And memory and processor are staying flat. And we can continue to the next add-on in the Home Assistant Community Add-on Store, which is Traccar, and I will install that one. Modern GPS tracking platform. It is looking like that. If you manage to start it, it allows you to run your GPS tracking software without any cloud. Traccar supports more protocols and device models than any other GPS tracking system on the market, straight from your HAS.io instance. HAS.io should be updated to Home Assistant instance here. You can select GPS trackers from a variety of vendors, from a low-cost Chinese models to a high-end quality brands. And this is what I wanted to do before. I have a low-cost Chinese GPS model integrated beautifully in my camper van, in my camper, and I want to track this using Traccar, but something stopped me before, and this something is MariaDB, because from what I remember in the documentation somewhere was said that MariaDB add-on was, here it is actually, and sure you have the official MariaDB add-on installed and running. And I don't want to have MariaDB installed on my system because it will change my Home Assistant setup and I will not be able to return to the default one afterwards. Is it installed? No, not yet. Why it is not installed? Probably it is not an easy to install and to run add-on. I cannot see the logs for some reason. Traccar also have native mobile apps available for Android and iOS platforms, so that you can track those as well. And with the Home Assistant Traccar integration, the data in Traccar will be sent back to your Home Assistant instance as well. Good. It is installed now. I will enable everything. I'll not change the configuration and I'll hit start. And it is started. I'll open the web UI. At least I'll try to. No dice till now. Let me check the logs. Good, no errors. And this is the Traccar web interface. How can I log in? There is a Traccar integration. But how I can log in here? Email and password. Oh, I have to register. Kirill at kirill.com. Kirill, register. Not now. Kirill at kirill.com. Kirill. Not now. And this is it. It is working. I can see the world map. And from settings, probably somewhere from here, I can add my GPS device. Yes. I can select the protocol somewhere, I believe. and the name and the group and the model, and eventually, if it is supported, I can show my device on this map somewhere here. And good, I like that. I must say that I should investigate this a bit more, because it is starting without MariaDB, which is very, very good. I don't want MariaDB once again. Probably it's just me, MariaDB probably is fine, but I don't want to use it. Maybe you are using it and you are perfectly happy with that. Good for you. I don't want to. And I'll continue to the next one, but before that I'll check the used space, 36.5, and CPU at 8% and memory at 3.1. Good. I'm going to the next add-on, which is UniFi Network Application. I'll hit on install. If you have UniFi devices, these are network devices such as APs and switches and hubs and so on and so forth. To control them all, you need a UniFi controller, and this UniFi controller can be either a hardware, a separate device, both from UniFi, that can be installed in your network, and you can use this device to control your network, or it can be a software one, like this UniFi network application. So it's up to you. You can buy something hardware additionally and put it in your network, or you can buy a router, a firewall plus a UniFi controller at one device, such as a UniFi Dream Machine. Or you can install this software somewhere, like inside Home Assistant, and it will detect your UniFi devices and you can configure your network that way. It's up to you. UniFi provides both options. This add-on runs Ubiquiti Network's UniFi network application software, which allows you to manage your UniFi network via the web browser. The add-on provides a single-click installation and runs solution for Home Assistant, allowing users to get their home network, up and running and updated easily. The add-on supports all Home Assistant supported architectures, including the Raspberry Pi. Good. I'm a UniFi user. My home network is a Ubiquiti one. I have a UniFi Dream Machine and few access points. But because my UniFi Dream Machine have embedded a UniFi network controller, I don't have to use such software application. I'm not quite sure. Should I start this add-on after the installation is finished? Because it may mess with my existing UniFi controller. Somehow, my existing UniFi controller is on the same network, and I'm not sure what will happen if I install a second one, but I'll try to. And the add-on is installed. I'll disable everything. I'll not enable these switches here because I don't want this to be started in the future. I'll just try to start it now. I'll check the logs. Again, that's because I don't want this to be messed with my existing UniFi controller. Some ports are opened. Nothing is shown in the logs so far. No add-on specific logs beyond this point. Okay. And it is started. I can try to open the web UI. It is not having an SSL certificate, and that's why I'm having these warnings. I can name my UniFi network server somehow, but I'm not going to do that. I'm afraid I will mess my network, so I'll stop right here. Nevertheless, the add-on is started. Let me check the disk metrics. It is up by by 1% or something. The processor is also up, probably temporarily. Probably It is a peak 26% and the memory is 3.4. Oh, that is a huge spike. The CPU is back to 7% and probably the memory will stay at this level, but that's fine. I'll close this as well, and I'll go to the next add-on. In the add-on store, community add-on section, and the next one is Uptime Kuma. It is a self-hosted monitoring tool like Uptime Robot. It is coming from Frank. Open source monitor tools which can be best compared to a self-hosted variant of a commercial service like Uptime Robot. It enables you to monitor services over HTTP or S, TCP, DNS and other protocols, and it can send you notifications of downtime or trigger a Home Assistant automation webhook. Good. So you can set up devices and you can query them on certain periods over HTTP, HTTPS, TCP or DNS, and if something happens you can create an automation, Home Assistant automation, based on a webhooks, or you can send other type of notification, which is good. Known limitations: Cloudflare is not installed in this add-on and thus not available as an option inside Uptime Kuma as of yet. Okay, cool. The add-on is installed. I'll enable everything. I'll check the configuration. Nothing can be configured except for the port, but I'll leave the default one and I'll click the start button. I'll check the logs. Listening on 3001. Is it started? Yes, it is. Username, password. The username is subscribe, and the password is auto-generated. Create. Good. Add new monitor, and from here I can select a monitor type. Look how many type of monitor types I have. Good. MongoDB, Redis, Radius, MQTT, Ping, and friendly name, host name. I can type a friendly name. I can select an IP here, and I can save it. For example, this is the IP of this test Home Assistant. I can add a lot of things here, and I can click on Save. Friendly name, Raspberry Pi 5 Home Assistant. Save. Up. This is up. Check every 60 seconds. Good. I like this add-on. Let me see how much resources are taken after installation of this Uptime Kuma. 38.4 and now it's 38.9. 3.5 gigabytes out of 8 and 7 or 6% CPU usage. I'm fine with that, and the next add-on is Vaultwarden or Bitwarden. Open source password management solution. I'm not sure why you need this when all of the modern browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari have embedded password managers inside them, but this is a product from quite some time, and if you start using it few years ago, you just can continue using it. It's quite okay. Bitwarden is an open source password manager that can store sensitive information such as website credentials in an encrypted vault. Good. And the add-on is started, and I can open the web UI. Eventually. Come on. I'll close this Kuma. It's going to open or not. No, it is stopped for some reason. SSL. Some SSL warnings and errors. I'll disable this. I'll click on Save. And I'll click on Restart. Let me try to open the web UI again. And now it is fine. Login or create a new account to access your secure vault. Create account. Okay. Okay. Master password. Is this my master password? I'm not sure. I don't have time to read all the documentation right now. It requires HTTPS and I disable the SSL switch. Okay, so in order to test this, I have to fix this SSL issue right here. I have to enable SSL, and then I have to follow these instructions with this temporary random admin token and password, and only after that I can enable this Vaultwarden add-on. Until then, I am not able to use it. Because if I disable the SSL, the add-on is started, but after that, when I try to log in, I get an error saying SSL is not enabled and you cannot continue further. I guess I'll try to start this add-on another time or maybe never. Because, as I said, I will use my browser password manager instead of this one. Let me check the disk usage. It is up a bit, but not by a lot. And I'll go to the next add-on, which is... We are on the last row of add-ons, guys. We have 4 more to go. And one of them, actually 2 of them, are very interesting. I'm not talking about this. Whisparr with WireGuard. Adult Video Collection Manager for Usenet and BitTorrent user. Once again, I'm getting tired of these WireGuard add-ons. We have 5 or 6 of them already, and they are pretty similar, but this one is for adult content. Let me check the documentation. It is the same as the previous WireGuard add-ons, I believe. I'll close some tabs meanwhile. Not now. Close. It is installed. I'll enable everything and I'll start the add-on. It is started now. I believe if I open the web UI, I'll see the standard, yes, this dialog where I have to select few things here. My username, subscribe now, play, subscribe now, save, and this is it. Same as the previous add-ons, but this is a pink one. Good. Let me check the disk usage. 0.3% more of my memory, of my SD card. Processor and memory are not changed. And I can continue forward. This time, if you reach this point, I want to invite you to join my Home Assistant webinar, where I'll talk about the different installation types of Home Assistant and their pros and cons. And I'll also share about one super simple and secret and stupid easy way to get started with Home Assistant on a PC in under 5 minutes, guys. It is super fast way, but you need to have a Windows and a PC to start your Home Assistant. You should not use this system as a production one, but you can test some things in this setup without fearing of breaking something. Now, let's move forward to the next add-on, which is WireGuard. I'll hit on install and I'll open my website, which is phpMyAdmin.com, and I'll search for WireGuard because I have what I'm typing. I have a video and article about WireGuard. I like this add-on. Come on, WireGuard. Here it is. WireGuard VPN from Home Assistant. Easy setup. A bit old, but good and gold article. Some things are changed, some things are not. The essentials and the basics are not changed, only the interface is a bit changed. Basically, you just have to install the add-on, you just have to add some configuration. You receive a QR code at the end that can be used to connect to your device, and you should forward an UDP port. And this UDP port is this one, 51820. You should open that from your router and you should forward it to your Home Assistant installation. And after that, with the QR code, you can connect remotely to your Home Assistant. The add-on is installed. You can define here your DuckDNS subdomain, but everything is well described. This is the network port that I told you about. You can define different peers, one for your phone, one for your laptop, and so on and so forth. I'll close that. And I'll try to start it, but I guess... Okay, it is started. And now in the walk, I should see some things. No. I was unable to start. I should add some configurations right here. It is a great add-on. I like it a lot. I was using it till very recently, but then I stopped because I started to use the UniFi VPN. That reminds me that I should re-enable it as a backup because I like that add-on and service a lot. You can watch the video or you can read the article how you can configure and start your own VPN for free inside your Home Assistant. And I'll check the CPU and memory. They are the same, they are not changed. I'll check also the disk usage. It is up a bit, but not by much. And I'll go to the next add-on, which is Z-Wave.js UI. I installed already a Z-Wave.js add-on. It was part of the official add-ons, and it is add-on that can help you control your Z-Wave network. And this is a fully compatible Z-Wave.js gateway and control panel. So control panel for your Z-Wave.js network and add-on. Frank is the author. Fully compatible Z-Wave.js control panel and MQTT gateway provides an additional control panel allowing you to configure every aspect of your Z-Wave network. It provides a decoupled gateway which can communicate using Z-Wave.js WebSockets used by the Home Assistant Z-Wave.js integration and MQTT even simultaneously. Some advantages and use cases. Show in sidebar, everything will be enabled, and I'll click on start. I'll not change the configuration. Some advantages and use cases. Compatible with the Home Assistant Z-Wave.js integration. Your Z-Wave network will keep running between Home Assistant restarts. That's great. So you restart your Home Assistant, but your Z-Wave network is up and running. You can directly use things like Node-RED with your Z-Wave network while it is available for Home Assistant at the same time. Allow ESP home-based ESP devices to directly respond or work with your Z-Wave network. Pre-configures itself with the Mosquito add-on when found. Great. Sounds like a complicated add-on simplified to the degree that you should just hit on start, then on Open Web UI, and this is it. Usage statistic. Please allow Z-Wave.js project to collect some anonymized data regarding the devices. No, I am not sharing here anything. Change log, okay, and you can search, you can scan, you can provision devices, scenes, stores, network graph. Great add-on. If you have Z-Wave network and devices, I think this is a must-have. I should say that I have a Z-Wave network, with few devices, but I never installed this add-on. Probably this is a big mistake. I'll try to play with it a bit, and if it is good, I'll install it on my prod Home Assistant. Let me check the disk metrics. 40% disk usage, that means how much? 23.1 gigabytes used until now. And processor and memory are freezed. They are at the 3.7, 0.1% up, and 7% CPU usage. And I'm going to the next add-on, which is the last one, ZeroTier One. This is another VPN add-on. Radically simplify your network with a virtual networking layer that works the same everywhere. I'll enable everything. I'll check the configuration. You should define networks here, I believe. Yes, you should define some networks, but let me try that way. It is started, at least it seems so. Let me check the logs. Yes, it is started. But nevertheless, you should define, you should read the documentation, how to use this add-on. From what I remember, you should define a network. This network can be any name or it is a random name. And you can get it by logging into the zerotier.com website. You should create an account here for free. You should log in, you should create a network, then you should define that network in your Home Assistant configuration. From what I see here, some API should be pasted here as well, again probably from the account somewhere. And after that, this Home Assistant device will be shown in this ZeroTier network, and by using ZeroTier clients that are available for free on phones, laptops, tablets, and so on, you can connect to any ZeroTier device in your ZeroTier network. I have a ZeroTier article in my website, but it is not for this add-on. It is for ZeroTier. Installed somewhere else. Here it is. How to set up a ZeroTier network and to add Home Assistant inside. What is ZeroTier? What is ZeroTier One? How to create an account? How to create a network? How to configure this network? Everything is done inside a web browser, and then how you can add a ZeroTier add-on. Okay, then you can add this to your phone, and everything is well described in this article. This is my video, and you can watch it if you need more info about ZeroTier. And let me check the disk usage. So I installed every Home Assistant official and community add-ons on my Raspberry Pi 5 on a 64 GB SD storage, and all add-ons, including the Home Assistant itself, are taking 23.1 GB of storage, which is great. Next important metrics is the CPU. If you have a Raspberry Pi, around 7 to 10% of your CPU will be used to run your Home Assistant and every add-on available in the Home Assistant add-on store. Of course, not all add-ons are started at the moment on my system, but you need to have a lot of devices and a lot of interfaces to start everything, and probably this is not feasible for anyone. No one can have everything and to start everything and to use everything. Next important metric is the memory. If you can see here, the memory is at 3.7 GB used out of 8. That means if your system is with 2 GB of RAM, it will not be enough for all add-ons. If you have 4 GB, you'll be on the limit. And eventually, if you start using all of your add-ons intensively, this memory will go even higher. So 8 gigs are fine for all add-ons inside the Home Assistant add-on store. And that was it, guys. Thank you for watching. It was a long video and I enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed too. Subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.